How are you, Tim?
I'm good. Yeah, not bad.
Where are you?
I'm walking along. I'm taking a back street route between King's Cross and Oxford Circus to avoid any loud noises.
Okay.
Oh, wow. What I might do as well, just in your honour, is sit in a green bit for a bit to do this interview.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That's exciting. Kind of
it's all about finding one, isn't it?
Yeah, the like little patch of verdancy in London. So, you are you about to go on tour? Is that correct, or are you already? Is the tour kicked off, or is it about to kick off this week?
No, it's about to kick off. I mean, that's the thing. It's kicking off with Norwich. That's how I always kick it off.
Really? Do you like Norwich?
Yeah.
Are you a Norwich fan?
What are you talking about? I love Norwich.
You love Norwich. Tell us...
I'm kicking off there, and then I'm staying there for several weeks before I move on.
Why do you like Norwich? Tell us Norwich things.
Norwich things. I used to go there. My godfather was from Norwich, is from Norwich, so I used to sort of go there. You know, when you kind of... It's sold as a slight holiday when you go and see aunts or uncles. And, so I used to go on holiday to Norwich, but you don't know any better, do you?
Well, we live here. Every day's a holiday in Norwich for us.
Well, it has got that sort of vibe about it, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I really like it. I remember that because it was quite a surreal experience. Well, surreal is maybe not the right word. Kind of a difficult experience when you go on tour. The first time I went on tour, I just remember very clearly how I was feeling walking around Norwich because I was about to do my first gig on my tour, and you just worry that everyone will just think it's rubbish, and so it was kind of a combination of that grey, ominous feeling hanging over me, and then just sort of waddling around your nice little shops and things.
Yeah.
Nice Norwich.
So Tim, we've kind of like softened you up with an easy introduction question. I'm going to go straight into
easy. I had to say how much I like Norwich.
I'm going to go into the kind of like I'm going to unleash the journalistic pit bull. Tim Key, have you ever considered doing a three-man show with either Trevor or Sean Locke, and also the Turkish professional footballer and football manager Bülent Under, and you could call it Under Lock and Key?
Well, what are you talking about? Of course I've considered that. I've got a preliminary design for a poster.
You could start your tour in Norwich.
Yeah, it's trying to... Yeah, of course I've started in Norwich. Where else? I'm just trying to... I'm in talks with Under. Under is surprisingly difficult to prize away from his contract at Galatasaray. Or wherever he might be. I mean, I suppose that's racist, just assuming that all Turkish managers manage Galatasaray. I guess they can't all do that.
Milan Baros plays for Galatasaray now.
Well, rightly so.
Yeah.
That is the sort of thing that happens, isn't it?
It is,
I'm old enough to remember Dean Saunders playing for Galatasaray.
That was exciting, wasn't it? And didn't Darius Vassell go there as well? Or was that a different Turkish club?
I think you might have fallen to the same chap as I did a minute ago. He might be more of a Fenerbahce style player. I don't think he'd quite fit into the Galatasaray system, would he?
I don't think so.
He's not direct enough.
Tim Clare is always very awkward when the subject of sport comes.
Edgy sporto banter, yes and I. It's good. It's good.
No, I heard his head drop there.
So I've written 3 questions for you. Do you want the first one, the second one, or the third one?
I think we'll start with the first one.
Oh, wow, that was exciting, wasn't it? It's hearing someone arm wrestle with their own indifference.
Okay,
I'm not indifferent. I love number 1. I always pick 1 ahead of 2 and 3. Go on, what is this first question? That'd be good. I found some grass, by the way.
Wow.
Okay, do you
Tavistock Square.
Ah, nice. Question number 1, do you like Blur?
Yeah, I do like Blur.
Okay, excellent. Do we need to continue that?
Go to question 2. Go to question 2.
Question 2.
No, let's stay on question 1.
Okay.
I'll be the judge when we move to question 2. I love Blur. Go on.
Which era Blur? What's your favourite Blur album?
I don't know. Park Life, is that one?
that is a Blur album. He does like Blur, this guy.
Is he in? Was he in Blur?
My favourite track on it is Park Life.
Whoa. Question number 2. Is Steve Coogan nice?
Oh.
He's an actor and comedian.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you take as you find, don't you? I mean, I like Steve Coogan. He's very nice, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of the whole thing is, the whole thing's a bit much for me, so I can't work out what's going on. But he's always really nice, but, I mean, to be honest, there's other things that because I work with him, and when I work with him, there's too many problems floating about to wonder whether he's nice. I'm just sort of concentrating on not ruining the whole Alan Partridge franchise, mainly.
And you managed to not ruin it. You were, in fact, good, some people might say.
Some people would say you contributed.
Yeah, well, yeah, I hope so, because it's quite frightening to do. I mean, I remember doing it the first time and leaving the office and walking home and thinking, yeah, that is very much in the balance. I think I might have ruined Partridge. When you watch this space. Yeah, it's quite, because you don't want to do that to yourself.
No,
when you've kind of, 18, that's your sort of, it's such a big part of growing up. I just love it. And then, so the idea of, 17 years later being plonked in a room with him, there's sort of, I don't know, there was quite a lot of pressure exerted on me, almost entirely all of it from my 18-year-old self.
Yeah.
Thinking, what would my 18-year-old self think if he were to be given this opportunity and wreck it? So it's quite a difficult job.
I mean,
but Steve Coogan was very nice. I once had a pint of beer with him.
Wow, a whole pint.
That's one of the big
or
ones.
thereabouts. Yeah, it was one of those glasses. So it must have been a pint.
you trust. There's an element of trust there, isn't there? And also, it was really nice because you also helped to undermine the prestige of local Norfolk radio stations as well while you were doing this. So it was good. We've
all got to contribute, haven't we? We've got to do our bit.
Me and John have been doing it for a year every week, to be fair.
You're in the box seat, aren't you?
Are you ready for question 3? Oh, is there going to be any more sidekicks, Simon? Or is that it?
Well, I never know. I'm a kind of, I don't want to jinx it, so I always assume that that's it, and that they are now sort of using my face as a dartboard in their production office.
Well,
but we have shot some more, so unless the cameras were not rolling, I guess I might be in it again, hopefully.
Well, there's plenty of chairs in the radio studio where Tim, Clare and I are now, so you can always be our sidekick, Simon, if you like.
I'd love to.
Cool.
That sounds like a good stepping stone.
It'd be good exposure.
Yeah, it would be good exposure. I mean, it must be fun. How regularly do you host your show?
It's every week.
Every week, Tuesdays, and we just play music and talk and stuff.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I mean, host might be some semantic widening going on there. We certainly attend the show.
Oh, right. Are you attend it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it does happen. I mean, so who do you think is hosting it? Is there a really experienced DJ who's just sort of?
Well, aren't we all hosts in our own way?
No.
I feel like I'm a bit of a host.
Yeah, you are doing the heavy lifting at the moment.
Yeah.
Question
are you
3,
guys
John.
both okay? Just make yourself comfortable. You can leave the studio for a bit if you want. I assume that am I on air as well?
Yeah.
So I assume I can just sort of talk to people for a bit.
You can. I mean, I do need a wee, so possibly. If you
go for a wee, and John, if you think of something to do, and then I'll just take over for it.
I could go and check on the security of the car park.
Yes, you could, or you could also do a wee.
I've just had one.
Oh, that's annoying.
Prepared.
Okay, well, you stay here then.
That's why we complement each other so well, you see, because we're kind of like polar opposites. I need a wee, he doesn't.
Yeah, constantly.
I do kind of like the idea of both of us leaving the studio, but leaving Tim Key's microphone up and seeing what happens.
Yeah, it's all a trust thing, though, isn't it?
Hashtag golden radio, eh? Stunts.
What I could do is, I'm now walking along the street, so I could just give my phone to this businessman and say, can you just keep talking for a bit? My friend is ill and they just need to hear you talk. And then you'd have a very interesting radio show.
Yeah.
It'd be like kind of like a satire on the kind of like modern media landscape, which isn't it all voiced by a faceless businessman?
Yeah, exactly. I think the key with that is for it only to last 3 minutes. I think it is like a weekly 2-hour slot where a businessman talks to an imaginary ill person.
The problem is that wouldn't be one of our more unusual radio shows. That would just fit the slot right in.
Yeah, the worry would be if you start getting loads of emails from people saying, a vast improvement. Bring back the businessman talking to the imaginary ill person.
How do you feel about moving on to question 3?
Well, I feel like we don't want to get bogged down on question 2, do we? That happened with question 1.
Yeah.
So I think we move on to question 3 now.
Excellent.
Nice and swift. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing AstroTurf trainers.
Colour?
Jeans, colour black.
Okay.
Black and white. Jeans, blue jeans, and then a black and white tracksuit top. As if I was about to go and play football. That's my look.
Do you want to
Because
know?
I was about to go and play football, and I got a text after I'd left the house saying the football's been cancelled.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I would hate that.
Yeah. Should I have done it more sexily? Do you want me to do it more huskily, that bit?
Yeah, yes, please.
I thought that was quite husky. Oh, don't up
No, I
anymore.
can do it more. I can go sexier than that, thank you, Tim. Okay. I'm wearing AstroTurf trainers. Black. Actually, maybe I can't. That's annoying.
That
But I
sounded
haven't got
more
a sexy
aggressive than
setting.
anything else.
Well, there's a fine line, isn't there?
Yes, apparently so.
So let's talk more about what you do, as people who are listening might want to then go and buy a ticket for your show that's
good.
on Friday and Saturday.
Yes, let's talk more about that.
Do you want to talk about your show? Do you want to explain your show, or are you bored of doing that? It's quite...
No, I'm not. I'm quite happy to. I'm very passionate about my show. It's right up my street.
Is it good?
I think it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is, actually. Yeah. I mean, I like it. I always enjoy doing it.
Can
I
you...
mean, it's fun to do, but it's whether or not it's sort of more of a participation sport or a spectator sport.
explain...
It feels like it's a spectator sport as well. People quite enjoy it.
a sort of audience gather, do they?
Yeah, they come along and they sort of do their bit, and then I do my bit. It's like a contract, isn't it, that we're all bound into. And at the end, we all have to go home, and we've all learned nothing, but we've all enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah.
They've given me their money. That's the bit that people get annoyed about. The basic sort of building blocks of the show is me standing there wearing a suit and doing poems, and just to my right, quite a large white bath full of really hot water and bubbles.
So you can do sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think even though those building blocks are in place, I wouldn't say it ever becomes sexy. It sometimes veers into aggressive. But no, maybe there's some sexy. I once talked to a girl about her bathing habits, and she had quite a deep voice. And that felt sexy, but you never know, really, do you? I can never work out what is and isn't sexy.
Well, the bit where you said, I want to talk to a girl, I found that quite sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's basically my internal monologue. I always tell myself that. I have talked to these people. Yeah, so that's more or less what I do, really. It's a strange old job, isn't it? I'm kind of into the idea of touring again and going to all these different towns.
But then you get out there and you see all the people staring at you, looking like a fire in a tailor's dummy shop, and you just kind of go, well, I'd like to be writing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more... Actually, the biggest one is probably the other way around, from writing, where you just have loads of writing to do, and it's difficult to write, because writing's very hard and very underrated as a thing to do. It's very difficult, and it's those times where you're sort of writing and you haven't got anything done, and it's 6:30, and you've just given your whole day over to trying to write something, and it hasn't worked. And there's those points where
you've just summed up mine and Tim's life.
Really easy.
yeah. That came so close to the bone there. I didn't really.
I know, it's horrible. That bit where you just think, oh God, it's when you haven't got anything planned in the evening that's the problem, because you just think at 6, you think, well, there's no need to panic. I'll just keep on.
Yeah.
I'll have another cup of tea because I've got the whole evening ahead of me. And then it gets to 9 and you just think, this is a very similar feeling to when it was 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't get on with my wife, because she comes home and she's just like her face appearing is a searing indictment of the fact that I've failed the day. So
yeah, exactly. That's
I
the thing you get,
for
whatever your
everything.
job is. Almost all jobs, there's an end to it, and writing, there just isn't an end to it. It's open. It's always open.
I can't help but think this has come a little bit more low-key since my excellent three-pronged attack of questions.
Yeah, I wish I'd started with this one. I might never have got around to our interesting chat about Blur.
So, sort of like, to end on a high then, tell us about any exciting projects that you've got coming up. Tell us something secret in the pipeline that you've got on the horizon.
Secret in the pipeline.
on the horizon.
I think I've got a secret one.
Wicked.
I've got a really tiny part in what I think is going to be a really nice film, which is an adaptation of The Double by Dostoevsky.
Really?
Directed by Richard Ayoade.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow!
I think that's. I haven't heard anyone talk about that.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Is
Not to lie.
has that already been filmed, or is that future?
Filmed, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. I might watch that.
Well, it's really good because because I do a bit of acting. I sometimes get sent like scripts and things, and a lot of these sort of scripts are quite sort of poor. And then when I got sent that one, it's really good. Maybe just because it's sort of up my street, but it's really it's a very strange, bleak, dark, peculiar, but a very funny film. And Ayoade is a very, very clever little man, I think. I think it will be quite good.
His star is definitely on the ascendant. He's done some very awesome things, and that sounds like a really exciting.
He's a very, very smart cookie. Oh, of course, because you're friends with Joe.
We are as well. So the kind of like that little mafia of people glad handing each other up the greasy pole includes us in that sphere. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love your mafia. It's very, very good.
Nice mafia.
Nice mafia. Yeah. Yeah. The world needs more nice mafias.
Yeah. So is acting like something that's excites you? Like the first time I became aware of you was with Carrots on Radio 4 and on BBC 4. Is that gone for good? Why wasn't there more Carrots?
Yeah, I don't know. That makes me sad because I thought we did that really well.
It's brilliant.
They told us to do 3 episodes, and I think it was to do with. There's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on with these things, and that's kind of the frustrating thing because you just kind of it stops and you just don't know who did it. You don't know who said that's got to stop, and so you just kind of find yourself just helplessly just looking at this word BBC, just thinking, and also everyone I've ever met from the BBC has always who's seen Carrots just said, "Oh, that was great. That was really amusing." Who is it?
You could probably do a Freedom of Information Act request on BBC emails and then find out the person it did and start a personal vendetta.
There's some naysayer somewhere who said, "I don't think we need these pricks anymore," which is a shame. But no, it was really enjoyable to do, and but also, we were quite relatively younger than now, anyway, and it was our first sort of go, and so I kind of thought, we haven't quite nailed it, but then I saw it, and they sort of, it was beautifully kind of directed and edited, and you look at it and you think, yeah, that's actually not too far away from what we wanted to do, and I'm really proud of it, and that's the frustration that we only got to make 3, and I just think if they just let us, go away for 6 months and come back with another, 3 episodes of writing and shoot it, I think we'd have made those 3 better than the first 3, and that would have been a really nice 6 episodes.
This is Future Radio 107.8.
Thanks ever so much for coming on the show, Tim, and chatting to us as you negotiate the back alleys of London. Lovely to speak to you.
Also, what I wanted to say, John,
Hello.
I just listened to, after all this time, to your radio show on my way to work this morning.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's so good. I loved it.
Oh, thank you very much. It's taken you a while.
Thank you very much.
I
know it took me about a year, but it's great. It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you very much, Tim. I really appreciate that.
Fantastic. Any more housekeeping to do with? It's cheap. We don't have to pay for this, you see.
Love your book, Tim.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Tim. Take care.
Cheers. See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
That was Tim Key, and this is David Bowie.